Hello and welcome inside Yost Ice Arena for another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Strain, joined by Lucas Vargas for this first period. Joshua Tenzer will be on later in the broadcast. Michigan enters tonight on a 2-game win streak in Big Ten play after having a really tough start to the Big Ten season, which they were 0-6-1, but they won the final game in Madison last weekend against the Badgers, who are a very talented team, and then beat Penn State pretty handily at home last night, and looking to continue that and finish strong in this first half of the season before they get a couple-week break. And Penn State enters tonight at number 6 in the country, the preseason Big Ten favorite. So this could be huge if Michigan could get a sweep here tonight.
Yeah, great opportunity on home ice for the Wolverines to, capitalize on what they did last night, show that it's not a fluke. And going back to the Wisconsin series as well, they did finish with a win in Madison. So chance to build on that. Rebound from some tough breaks they had early in Big Ten play, especially, the Minnesota series was tough with one of those very, very tight losses in overtime. But, you got to take advantage of the chance that you have. Young team with some new pieces this season, as everybody knows. But, you win this one, compete well, and then you have a chance going into, a long break, as you mentioned, the winter break. And, you have to have some momentum going in that to feel good about yourselves coming out of it.
And we are off and running here tonight. The main face-off here at center ice, won back by the Nittany Lions, and they immediately dump it in on Strauss-Mann, who entered the weekend in the upper tier in NCAA hockey goaltending, one of the strong points for Michigan this season, and he sends it up forward to his forwards. This top line tonight, Jimmy Lambert, interestingly, centering Slaker and Lockwood. Jake Slaker had a nice night last night with 2 points, including the game-sealing empty net goal to make it 4-0 with about 5 minutes to go in the third period. Now Penn State carries it up and tried to throw it towards the front. Lambert picks it off and brings it out the other way. This is a nice color contrast. You have Michigan in the maize uniforms and then the navy for Penn State. A one-man rush for Lockwood immediately got taken away, and now the Nittany Lions bring it up, and just in front of the blue line and sending it on deep is Mason Snell, the freshman defenseman, dumped behind the play there. Down behind is Nick Blankenberg, and he's pushing and shoving a little bit. Now sends it up to Garrett Van Wyen, the fourth line out there for the Wolverines. Hayhurst playing out with Moyle right now. Michigan continues to juggle the lines around. They've been doing that all season long. Sent in deep by Penn State. Blankenberg picks it up down low, out to Moyle, just past his own blue line, redirected off his skate. Loose brings it across center and sends it the length of the ice. 18:40 to go in the first period. No score so far, no shots. Both teams just feeling each other out so far. Right across center was Chris Malari, and he sends it deep for Penn State. Dump and chase with Nate Soucis, who leads the team in points with 21. Penn State's able to roll 2 really effective checking lines as they remain one of the highest scoring teams in all of college hockey. They've been that every season since being upgraded. Now a chance for Pastujov down in front of the net. Turned aside by the netminder Peyton Jones, who's had an excellent season for Penn State, a senior. Now carried around through the middle. Luke Morgan throws it towards the front. Pastujov goes in after it into the corner. A couple guys go down. This is pretty quiet Yost Ice Arena crowd. Now there's a shot and a chance for Morgan. Goes up into the netting and out of play.
Michigan able to apply some early pressure, getting a good look in front of the goal, but unable to capitalize. It's encouraging, though, early on to see them create some chances for each other, already going through most of their lines, and now having an opportunity on a face-off deep in the Penn State zone. But it's what's going to be about for Michigan. It's going to be, can they stay aggressive after last night?
Yep, offensive zone draw not able to be won there by Beecher, but Penn State did a very poor job of trying to clear that out. Michigan able to hold it in, not really having much going on. Cole Holtz down behind the Los Angeles Kings draft pick, gets dumped behind the play. Now intercepted at center ice by Cam York, hands it off to Beecher. His pass into the middle, Ciccolini, a nice try for Raby, and his shot just goes wide. Nice fancy passing by what has really been the crux of the Michigan offense, and that's a sentence no one really would expected entering this season, as Penn State brings it up into the neutral zone and then up into the offensive end. Luke Martin there tries to chip along the corner, but the Lions able to carry it in. That's their fourth line. Tyler Gratton, Connor McEachern, and Connor McEneman. A very odd pairing of Connor Mix here on this fourth line. Martin holds it in his own end as the Nittany Lions get a quick change. Shots 2-0 in favor of the Wolverines. 3 minutes gone here in the first period of action, and then nice chip on down by Sternshine. And going in after it is Luke Martin. Sternscheid leads the Nittany Lions with 9 goals this season, which again, not really something you might have expected. Now a takeaway potentially for Passagov into the offensive end, but a really nice play to come forward there and turn it aside by the Nittany Lions. Mason Snell there in third defensive pair. Now another intercept, but that one was offsides. Passagov just couldn't hold it on in the blue line. So we'll have a whistle, 16:32 to go in period 1.
Yeah, just offsides there, but some great pressure being applied, and you know, Penn State not really comfortable at all so far to start this hockey game out. Really not able to even set up a crisp possession at all yet in the first 3.5 minutes in the Michigan zone.
Now a face-off win. That one was to the left side of the center ice area, right in front of that Michigan Medicine sign. Michigan won it back and then immediately chipped it down. Penn State picks it up easily though, but they can't quite get it free. Nick Blankenberg picked it up just past the blue line, carried it back in on sides. Now it's down behind the net. A hard check ball applied behind by Jake Slaker. Some more pushing and shoving in the corner. And now we do have a whistle on a potential penalty, and that looks like it is going to go against Slaker for boarding down there behind it. So the Michigan veteran will go to the box. That's a senior alternate captain, Slaker, 2 points last night, but he's going to put Michigan on the penalty kill, and now here's a huge opportunity for Penn State to get an early lead in this game with 16:05 to go in the first period.
Yeah, not even 30 seconds ago, I just mentioned how Penn State really hadn't been able to put anything together yet offensively, but it's a great way to try and get something going, is to have a power play opportunity, as the Nittany Lions do right now. And it's the team with a lot of firepower. They can get going early in this game.
Susis wins this draw back. He's got Smirnov at the point. They've got Sternscheid out there as a gunner with Brandon Byro, the team captain, playing on this unit as well. Now skating into the middle, taking a shot that got blocked by Cole Holtz there, but now picked back up to the top. Holtz sends it across to one-time try, kind of fanned on awkwardly there. And now down behind, and will be cleared out by Michigan the length of the ice. 15:41 to go. They've got Limoges out there with Byro, Susis, Smirnov, and Holtz on that unit, but they immediately cycle, get those guys off, and now the first power play unit will go out there for the Nittany Lions. 15:27 to go in the first period. 40 seconds gone in the Slaker penalty. Carrying it out in the middle of the ice, Phillips over across to Evan Barrett. Barrett comes in with Limoges. Limoges back down to Barrett. Barrett skates around, sends it off the boards, and it will go back out in the neutral zone. Sloppy play, and halfway done in the Slaker penalty, and Michigan hasn't really faced many chances at all so far in this penalty kill. Now along the boards, up towards the top, Folks and Barrett hold it in. Barrett skates to the middle. Barrett is a third-round draft pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, first team All-Big Ten preseason. He skates in with it, takes a shot that is deflected off a stick of Luke Martin, and that's something he does very well with 34 blocks on the season to lead the team entering the weekend. And his block creates an opportunity for his defense mate Cam York to clear it down, but they quickly cycle it up. A really nice play by the netminder Peyton Jones to get it up to Barrett, but then Michigan holds the blue line well and repels it back down the other way. Now 14:24 to go. Again, dump and chase. Penn State likes to play fast, that frenetic style that requires getting so many shots. They've led the NCAA in shots the last 4 seasons in a row, but still really nothing going on this power play as they just send it along the boards and then back out into the neutral zone. 2 seconds, one. Slaker is out of the box. A dreadful power play for Penn State. They get one real chance after winning the opening draw of the power play, and then nothing after that. A strong effort from the Michigan penalty kill that had wavered at times, allowing some power play goals to that excellent and lethal Wisconsin offensive team in Madison last weekend. But they do well right now, and they've done well to get early leads in these games. Dodge an early bullet there. Lockwood carries it out of his own zone, using that great speed into the offensive end, tries to dangle around the Penn State defenseman, unable to do so, and now it's 2-on-2 the other direction, carrying it out. Here comes Sam Sternscheid trying to get around Keaton Pearson, and he does so very nicely, but then sends a pass to the front, and then a nice save there on a one-time try by Paul DeNaples, the defenseman pinching up, and Strauss-Mann shuts it off. 13:24 to go in period 1. Not a lot of whistles so far.
No, not a lot of whistles at all, but that was a very nice cut by DeNaples and a very nice pass as well, but even better save for Strauss-Mann. You alluded to it earlier. Been a very bright spot for this Michigan team, despite some of the struggles they've had. I mean, as a sophomore, really stepped up into a big role this season, and there were a lot of questions regarding that goalie position coming into the year, but he certainly answered a lot of those and emerged as the guy in net, and that save right there is just one example why he has been able to hold on to that job.
Well, and after this Michigan team struggled so much with goaltending a year ago, if you had said that man would be in the upper tier of the NCAA in most goaltending stats, most people would think Michigan would be in a better spot than they are entering tonight's game, sitting at a pretty rough 6-9-2 on the season, 2-6-1 in Big Ten play. But the issue for Michigan really has been the scoring. I think the defense has improved compared to last season. The penalty killing has, and the goaltending has exponentially. But they just have not really been able to find any consistent scores. Now, quickly off the draw on the offensive end for Penn State, a shot that was let go by Phillips, blocked in a mass of bodies. Now it's pinned up against the left wing boards in the Michigan defensive end. Jimmy Lambert, who's centering that first line tonight, picks it free. He sends it across the zone to Lockwood. Now skates out along the right wing boards, hands it off to Slaker behind. He got roughed up hard there by Phillips. Down to the center. Slaker takes a shot high and over top of the net. Didn't look like the netminder Peyton Jones saw it. Dug out by Will Lockwood. The senior captain, though, had it and then lost it. Penn State picks it up. They send a long pass that goes past everybody wide of the net of Strauss-Mann. Then Michigan just bats it down like a pinball for an icing, and the faceoff will come back into the Michigan end to the right of Strauss-Mann.
And, you referenced the scoring being the issue, and I mean, you're exactly right. And you just lose so much power from last year. Josh Norris, even Quinn Hughes, guys that really got in on the offensive side, and it's been tough for anybody to step into a role of similar capacity.
There's a quick shot from the point by Malari off the face-off win by the Nittany Lions. That one went off the pad of Strauss-Mann for a pretty easy save. Now Michigan bats that one back down. Will not be an icing, and Michigan finally able to get a change. 12-28. You see Penn State going with a very interesting style here in this game. Anytime Michigan sends it deep and there is not an icing, the first defenseman back sends a very, very long stretch pass just to try and get something going, and that's going to be an icing on Penn State with 12-13 to go. So right now, a little bit choppier after that first about 6.5 minutes flew by easily. A couple icings back and forth each way.
In Penn State, I mean, what they've been known for, especially as of late, is just scoring a lot of goals.
Yep.
And one of the reasons why they're able to do that is the extra chances they create, the pace they play at, and the break that they try and get out of failed icing is one of the reasons why they're able to create opportunities. Jake
Hayhurst not able to win that draw, and Penn State was able to carry it out of their own zone off that defensive zone draw relating to the icing. Now Limoges brought it on down, took a shot off the pad of Mann, easily saved, and now Penn State will try to get a change. And Limoges was attempting to hook Hayhurst, didn't want to take a penalty, so he just dropped the stick awkwardly. Now taken away right there by McEacher. Nice play to get away from Van Wy. Brings it on into the offensive zone. There's a shot from the point and into the glove of Strauss-Mann, and some pushing after the play. Van Wy comes over, and I think we might have penalty on Penn State. The referee is pointing to the box. Could be a 4-on-4 potentially if they give Van Wy for going in after that play was over. Let's take a look. We don't see any Michigan players going over to the box, though, so it appears that this will be a Michigan power play with 11:39 to go in the first period.
Yeah, looks like it. And now Penn State, though, has responded in the shot category. DeNaples getting another one, playing it off the wall, but Penn State now leading the shot chart 5-2.
Yep.
11:39 left in the first period, but Michigan on the power play, see if they can create an opportunity for themselves.
11:39 to go in the first period. No score between Michigan and Penn State here on this final game before the Christmas break for these Wolverines, and they have a power play to try and get another early lead like they did last night. But the draw unable to be won there by Beecher and immediately cleared all the way down by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Trying to set up behind the play there will be Jack Summers. This is the second power play unit. Mike Passageov, Nick Passageov. You also have Beecher and Lambert as well as Summers anchoring it. Summers passed too far and it goes out of play. And so now Michigan will have to do a neutral zone face-off, and 19 seconds gone. The power play a little choppy so far. Michigan nothing going in the early stages. And this is an interesting unit right here because you have the Passageov brothers playing together. They're more on the second line. Then you have Lambert from the first line, and then Beecher, who's the team's leading scorer, but is nominally anchoring the fourth line. And again, this issue for Michigan so far this season has been continuity. There's a chance right out in front. Nice pass from Beecher in front, and a sloppy Penn State defensive play freed Lambert in front of the net on a nice heads-up pass from Beecher. but Lambert unable to get a solid amount on it, and it just goes right into the body of Peyton Jones for a face-off. Still only 33 seconds gone in this power play. Feels like a lot more than that.
Yeah, and that play looked like the puck was just kind of rolling around down into the Penn State zone, and Beecher able to feed a pass through and point-blank range another time in front of the goal, and
Beecher wins the draw. Lambert took a shot that was blocked. Summers picks it up, skates over to the middle. Now he sends it to Passagov on the half wall, down low. This is brother Mike, sends it across and deflected off a Penn State stick. Summers chips up, tries to keep it in, but then kicked out like a soccer ball, and Penn State is able to clear it on deep. Man came out to play it behind his own net, and creeping up behind him ever so slightly there. And a very sneaky play was Nikita Pavlichev, the gigantic Russian centerman, who's out there on this second penalty kill unit. And now that pass too far for Blankenburg as Michigan has cycled the first power play unit out there, and it's sent all the way down. Michigan has struggled on the power play this season at different points. Their overall numbers don't look too bad, but they've just had some moments where things have really struggled. Lockwood brings it in, leaves it off to Blankenburg. Now York skates in, takes a shot. That one was blocked, but held in well by Lockwood. He's at the right circle, takes a shot through the legs of Peyton Jones, but he's able to hang on for another face-off. 27 seconds left in the power play, 10:06 to go in period one.
Really no solid offensive possession set up for either team as of now in this game. It's been very up and down for both teams through the first 10 minutes of this game. A couple of power plays not resulting in much yet, but see if the pace stays as fast as it is or slows down.
Ahurst won the draw over to Slaker, now to York at the top. York over across to Lockwood, to Blankenburg at the point. A drive by Slaker goes wide of the net. He missed everything there, and it takes a cannon bounce off the end boards and goes all the way back down. 10 seconds left in the power play. Michigan could have one more rush if they wanted to, but they might not have the time. York sends it up. They chip it in. Slaker looking for Van Wy in the middle. And out of the box now, coming back onto the ice, is Connor McEachern, the freshman from Brooklyn, Ontario. 9:33 to go in period one. Some pushing and shoving down there behind the boards. Picked up by Lockwood. He skates through the offensive zone all the way around. Now gives it off on the wing to Martin, who took a shot that deflects high into the air. Now he throws it in front, banging away, still trying. And now it'll come into the corner. Penn State picks it up, flips it back into the neutral zone. Loose tries to corral it. Skipped over his stick for a second. Luke Martin pinched up by Brandon Byro there out with Snell and Phillips. Now it squirts along the side. Loose tries to clear it down, and Michigan will be able to get a change as he was just past the midline where you would expect icing. Now Raby picks it up in the offensive end. Michigan really dictating play right now, and he has a pass that goes just out of the stick of Pastajov, sent all the way down. This will be an icing on Penn State, so we're not able to get that media timeout with 8:45 to go in period one. Shots now up to 6-5, a little rush there, about 3 or 4 minutes where Michigan has started to dictate play a little bit more.
Yeah, certainly getting good looks and, really in front of the net, to be honest with you. But,
yeah.
Peyton Jones for Penn State has stayed solid so far early on. Michigan's got to keep on chopping away to get a good look.
So Luke Morgan loses that draw for Michigan. The Nittany Lions hold it down behind their own net. Clayton Phillips, Penn State player who is drafted by Pittsburgh Penguins, now gives it across to Cole Holtz, the draft pick of the Kings. This is a decently talented Penn State roster, and we'll talk more about that later on in the broadcast. Skating all the way through his own end and now giving it away. A really dangerous play for the Nittany Lions. Passagov picks it up, sends it across, and a shot that's deflected off a stick. Had a weird redirect that just went wide of the post, and now the Nittany Lions come out the other way just across center ice. 8:10 to go in the first period. We're still waiting for that under 10 media timeout if we can get a whistle that isn't an icing, but there just haven't been many of those so far in this first period. Mike Pastajov sends it deep. Going in after it and taking a hard spill against the boards was Chris Malari, and I think they're going to get a tripping call on Michigan, and I don't like that one. Looked like incidental contact to me, but skating over towards the box is Luke Morgan, and so with both teams 0 for 1 on the power play, it'll be a Penn State power play with 7:54 to go in the first period after this commercial timeout.
Yeah, and I think it really just goes with how fast and up and down this game has been that, you're not seeing the usual, slow it down, set something up, and let the defense just try and grind out stops. But it's really up and down, and as a result, the the skating, the speed at which this is being played. Some incidental contact, what seems like it's going to get called for tripping there. So they're honoring the veteran of the game.
Yes, as an interesting veteran of the game, served in support of operations in Bosnia-Herzegovina. A lot of times you get veterans from some of the big name wars, but this man, a 23-year military veteran, served in some of the lesser-known conflicts of the 90s, being honored there on the side. This is a crowd that's really filled in. When we were walking up about an hour before puck drop, we were marking at how empty the parking lot was compared to most pre-games, and it was kind of took a bit to fill in, and it hasn't been a super loud crowd, but you look around, it is a pretty full Yost Ice Arena here tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, sometimes this takes some time to fill in, but you can basically count on this place being filled up every night there's a home game.
So here we go out of the timeout, 7:54 to go in period one. Penn State 0, Michigan 0, but the Lions with a power play, and we know how dangerous this Penn State team can be in the scoring department, scoring almost 4.4 goals per game, among the best in NCAA hockey. They've always been that frenetic, wild, freewheeling style under Guy Gadowski that has gotten them so successful, made the Big Ten championship game 2 of the last 3 seasons, and this season tabbed as preseason favorite to win the conference. They entered the weekend first in points in the Big Ten, but they're not able to win that draw. Preseason projections don't mean anything when it comes to the faceoffs, and so the Lions will have to set things up back in their own end. That's Cole Holtz, the junior defenseman from Stoughton, Wisconsin, the Los Angeles Kings draft pick. Brandon Byro, the captain, carries it in for Penn State, and they'll finally try to get the power play set up there at the point. A shot went high and over top by Sam Sternshine, the leading scorer in goals for Penn State. Now over back along the boards, Nate Soucis, and had it immediately taken away, and out comes Johnny Beecher for Michigan. The first-round pick of the Boston Bruins takes a shot that's saved by the netminder Peyton Jones. Penn State picks it back up. Wolverines had a shorthanded goal last night, had a decent look at one right there. Now they bring it in along the right wing side, and will finally get an opportunity to really slow the pace down and set things up. There's a shot that Strauss-Mann didn't really see. Griffin Luce picks it up for a second. Now it goes over to Liam Folks on the side. Folks to Byro, curls with it at the top point, sends it across there for Evan Barrett, the team's first-line centerman. Phillips, the defenseman, right by that Big Ten logo at the point. Phillips left point, Barrett right point. They've got Folks on the half wall, and they send it down in front of the net where they've got Sternshine as the screener, and he had it deflected off his stick, and now Van Wy comes in with it. He takes a shot. That one's saved by Peyton Jones. Jones doesn't know where it is. Phillips picks it up behind the play. Martin pinches up. He flips it back down. Penn State going to try and get a counter rush after another good look there for Garrett Van Wy. Phillips skates in. The Yost Ice Arena crowd wanted it offsides. Nothing coming, and now it's repelled back out. Hayhurst is going to try to rush after it, but the tired Evan Barrett is able to get there first. Only 15 seconds remain, though, in this Michigan penalty kill. This has been nonstop play, not a single whistle so far in the power play. Now that one's flipped on down. Will Lockwood's going to have an opportunity, but a rolling puck skipped over his stick, and you can argue there as the penalty expires and Luke Morgan is back out of the box for Michigan that the Wolverines had more chances there than Penn State did, and Michigan was on the penalty kill. Nittany Lions fall to 0 for 2 now on the power play tonight. Game still scoreless, 5:40 to go in the first period as nonstop play continues. Intercepted at the neutral zone by Cam York. He skates in, flips it over to Jake Slaker on the left wing board. Slaker across, and that pass intercepted by the fourth line centerman Connor McEachern for the Nittany Lions, and now out comes the fourth line well into the zone. There's a bad angle shot, grabbed up high by Strauss-Mann. 5:23 to go. He'll hang on for a whistle. Shots now an even 8-8 between Michigan and Penn State.
It's tough to say this, but you can almost argue that Michigan's penalty kill has been better at creating opportunities than the power play.
Yeah, it's been a strong power play penalty kill unit for Michigan, and you see Van Wy on the Jumbotron there. He had a really nice chance streaking down the right wing side that was shut off by Peyton Jones. Van Wy was involved in the shorthanded goal last night. He got an assist as Morgan finished it. Michigan, here's your interesting thing. They scored 4 goals last night, and all 4 were in different fashions, as there's a shot taken, and it goes wide of the net. Michigan sends it back down. Ciccolini races after it. Michigan last night had a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, an even strength goal, and an empty netter, only missing the penalty shot. short of the total 5-goal package. Of course, Mario Lemieux famously had all 5 goals in one game in the mid-1980s. Very hard to do for one team, let alone one player in a game. Now that one, a shot from the point, wrong off the stick of Paul DeNaples. DeNaples, a sophomore defenseman from Moscow, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, not Moscow, Russia, which we do have one Russian player on Penn State in the form of Nikita Pavlichev, the third-line centerman for Penn State. A lot of back-and-forth play right now. Not a single shot over that little spiel. 4:30 to go in the first period. Michigan just content to hold it behind their own net. Both teams still just kind of readjusting to even strength play after 3 penalties over the course of about the last 10 minutes. Now an intercept by Luke Morgan. He carries it into the offensive end. He takes a shot in on Peyton Jones. Weird rebound. Penn State had 3 guys standing in front of their own net and couldn't properly clear it away from danger. Now the Nittany Lions hold it behind. They swing it along the boards. Dennis Smirnov there, pinned up against the boards by Luke Morgan. A 25-on-25 battle. Now picked up, and out they come the opposite way. Nate Soucis gives it off to Byro, and his shot is blocked off a stick of Luke Morgan. Out of play, 3:52 to go, and that is another block to Luke Martin's team-leading total in block shots as we take a commercial break with 3:52 to go in period 1. Still no score between Michigan and Penn State. You're listening to WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey.
I think with this pace that this game is being played at, going back to last night as well, to see which team will get worn down the fastest based on the pace of play. I mean, Penn State probably more used to the style, the up and down skating that this tempo entails, but it's the second night of a back-to-back late in the first semester, so the legs are going to be a little bit tired after the beginning of the season grind, and it's going to be interesting to see if the pace either slows down or really starts to take its toll on one team or the other.
Well, and the interesting thing for Michigan is that you look at Mel Pearson's tenure. This is now his 3rd season at Michigan. They have never, in his preceding 2 seasons, entered the Christmas break really in a good spot. I remember our freshman year when his first season at Michigan kind of limped into the Christmas break after splitting a pair of games with Michigan State. And then last season they had a rough weekend at home against Minnesota that sort of set the tone for the rest of the season. So if they could sweep a top 10 team, that would be a big confidence boost going into the Christmas and the New Year's, and they will play on the 30th and the 31st in Detroit at the Great Lakes Invitational. Now play has back resumed with 3:35 to go in the first period. Down behind the net, Van Wy tied up there with Alex Limoges, the Winchester, Virginia native. Liam Folks comes around to pick it up. That Folks, Barrett, and Limoges line, a really, really dangerous top line, but arguably has not been the best line for Penn State, and they have offense everywhere to go around, so it's a tough decision to try and pick a best line. A shot from the point there from Phillips was blocked, and Michigan carries it out and sent a long pass in early. A shot on Peyton Jones, not really threatening, but he didn't know where it was. Now Hayhurst skates all the way through the middle, curls around, picks it up along the boards, gets knocked down, and Penn State tries to carry it out. They pass it along and now come on up with it. Flipping it up into the air is Barrett and back down. Blankenberg picks it up. 2:50 to go in the first period. Lockwood right wing side in the neutral zone, just about to come past the blue line, sends it in deep. Slaker goes in after that, tipped along, and Summers repels it back into the Penn State end. Not a lot of concerted chances being set up by either team, just been small rushes created by turnovers. I'd argue Michigan has had many more scoring chances, or true scoring chances, you might say, than the Nittany Lions tonight. Lockwood across to Slaker, just a little too far for him. 2:22 to go in period 1. Pass intended for a Nittany Lion player, and I think Michigan had too many men. They're going to have to count this one up. They were in the midst of a change. Griffin Luce was in the wrong spot. Count him up. I do see 6, and they're going to have to ask Mel Pearson who they want to put. The penalty box is open with 2:16 to go. This will put Michigan on the penalty kill for the 3rd time this period, and will essentially mean that unless Penn State scores, the remainder of this first frame will be all power play time for Penn State. But despite Michigan having to be shorthanded, though, we have seen a really good penalty kill tonight for Michigan, creating shorthanded chances. can this dangerous Nittany Lion power play, which has been so good this season at 31%, can they look better here on this third try of the first period? Face-off draw won by the Nittany Lions. Smirnov's got it at the left point. He takes a shot. Nice deflection. Empty net try, and it's missed. Nate Soucis had a really open look, but a tough angle to shoot at and was not able to bury it. Now Smirnov holds it at the top. Pass across there. Skating around is Cole Holtz. Back over to the side. Now across Smirnov. A nice pass, and they score. Really good passing there between Smirnov at the left point and Soucis, who was creeping down the half wall on the right wing side. And they did 3 passes back and forth and back again, and the empty net just too much lateral shifting there from Strauss-Mann, and the finish from Soucis. That is now his 8th goal of the season and 22nd point, leading the Nittany Lions in the ladder category. And they take a 1-0 lead with 1:53 to go.
And you give a team like Penn State enough opportunities in the power play, and they're going to capitalize eventually. I mean, the law of percentages just bound to come to fruition. You said 31%. Well, 1 for 3.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
1:50 to go in the first period. We'll see if Michigan can do anything to try and set things up. 1:50 to go, and they could potentially get a late rush. Again, this has been a pretty even first period in a lot of ways, but Penn State, given 3 power play chances, were able to finish one. That's right in on their season average at 31%. 1:30 to go in the period. Pavlichev comes in with it along left wing side. Nice pass across, but not able to connect with Sam Sternshine over there on the right side. Now pinned down behind. You got Pavlichev being pinned, or attempt to be pinned, by Blankenberg. That shot from the point pinballs around Ciccolini over to Beecher. Beecher carries it out into the neutral zone. Now turning with it is Mason Snell. Snell and Phillips, the third pair for Penn State. 1 minute to go now in this first period. Carried all the way through. Now Passagov trying to set up a real chance, but unable to do so. Liam Folks bangs away at it as it caroms along the boards down behind. Nice check there from behind. Keaton Pearson on Limoges over. Passagov has got it. Passes over to his brother Nick. Now intercepted in the middle. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Limoges, nice pass to Barrett. He skates right in, and he scores. Dangling right around Strauss-Mann. And Penn State now 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, and they are looking like they will enter the intermission with a 2-0 lead. And what a reversal of the first 18 minutes of this period.
You've alluded to a few things, and one of those was how good Evan Barrett is. And
yeah,
I mean, that was just some phenomenal puck handling to really have the, the show and go, you reach, I teach, and wrap it around Strauss. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Now Penn State quickly right off the draw will take a shot in on Mann. He hangs on. 31 seconds to go in the period. And that play, I mean, Barrett's just got it on the left wing side. He's got a little bit of daylight, and you got Blankenberg right there, but Barrett's able to use his speed to get around Blankenberg, and then one little forehand to backhand move right around Strauss-Mann and his left pad, and then depositing it in the back of the net. 2-0 Penn State leads now right off the faceoff. Another whistle as it went out of play. Trying to figure out who it went off of and where this faceoff will go. Looks like it's going to come out of the Michigan defensive end with 28 seconds to go, with the Nittany Lions leading 2-0. Shots 11-10 in favor of Penn State. Soucis and Lambert in the dot. Soucis is able to win that one, but Lockwood tries to get free and then turned away. Smirnov comes in with it. He had an assist on the first goal. York banks it along the boards, but not quite out. Soucis and Byro took the big shove there. Now down behind the net, picked up by Luke Martin. Banks it along, looking for Cole Holtz, and not able to find him. 5 seconds remaining now. Soucis carries it into the middle. 3 seconds, a shot high and rising on Mann, and the referee won't blow the whistle because they'll let the horn just sound. And our score after the 1 period is Penn State 2, Michigan 0.
Penn State, it's hard to hold a team like that down for a whole game, as Michigan did yesterday, and it's tough to have them come back the next night and you give them chances through the power play. You can't dig yourself in a hole like that, and eventually Penn State just sees one go through the back of the net, and It seems like it really invigorated them with some energy, and it's a much different Penn State team than we've seen the last 2 nights really now. And Michigan's gonna have to find a way to find some composure in the locker room and capitalize on the opportunities they've had, because Michigan has had chances to score, chances to be tied or maybe just down one, even with their miscues, and just haven't capitalized on those. It's still going to be a fast-paced game, so there should be a lot of opportunities for Michigan to take the puck into the Penn State zone and have chances, but it's going to be up to them to finish them.
Well, Michigan goes into the intermission trailing by a score of 2-0. The goals by Evan Barrett with assists from Limoges and Folks, as well as Susis on the power play assists from Smirnov and Cole Holtz. And that's where we go to the intermission. We'll be back in around 15 minutes for the second period.
All right, we are back for the second period. Number 6 Penn State leading Michigan 2-0. What do you think Michigan's goals are to get back in this game?
Well, this has been a very fast-paced game, and I talked about it a lot with Alex in the first period about how eventually one team was going to either capitalize on the pace of the play or probably get worn down, and it looked like towards the end of that first period, Penn State really was dictating that tempo. It's the tempo that they like to play at. I think Michigan's got to find a way to slow this game down a little bit and make Penn State have to really work on possessions. And Michigan got some good looks offensively, but couldn't really capitalize on any of them. I thought they had some really nice chances in front of the net, but just not able to get any power on their shots. See if the tempo stays how it was. And Michigan's also got to stay more disciplined. Can't be picking up penalties, giving a team like Penn State 3 power plays. So we'll see how things change coming into the second period. But Michigan has had chances to compete.
Especially not a bench minor. That was a costly mistake cracking this game open.
Yeah, very good observation there. I mean, you can't have those silly penalties, especially when you're playing a talented team like Penn State, trying to upset them on your home ice.
Nick Pastashov facing off against Penn State, wins the draw, sending it back to his side. Now he's got it on the right wing, passing over to Luke Morgan, sending it in. Penn State intercepts and tries to get something started. Intercepted by Luke Martin, sending it over to both Pastashovs on the left wing. Penn State clears it out again to Martin. It's sent into the zone towards the near corner for Nick Pastashov. And Penn State gets to it first, sends it around their net. Michael Pastashov. All right, what happened? Luke Morgan takes a shot from the front of the net and scores, cracking this game open for Michigan, 1-2. You were talking about the pace. It's caught me way off guard.
Well, I mean, the puck just kind of skittling around in the Penn State zone. I mean, nobody really got a solid stick on that puck and cleared it with any really intention of doing so. Luke Martin able to send it back into the zone, and that puck just kept bouncing around, and I don't think you were ready for it. I certainly wasn't ready for it, but a shot is sent to the back of the net, and now Michigan right back in this game. I mean, I said they had chances. There's one they capitalize on finally, and with 19:31 now in the second period.
Mike Pastashov in the far corner, passing it towards the center, right in front of the crease where Morgan was able to capitalize. Michigan loses the draw now. Penn State recollecting it in front of their own net. A long pass over to Folks. Folks on the right wing, surrounded by Slaker and Blakenberg. Blakenberg sends it around the net for Luce. Luce passes up the right wing for Lockwood over to Slaker on the left wing. He's got a defender in front of him. He likes to stop. Pass to Lockwood goes wide of him. Now Barrett, one of the top goal scorers for Penn State, more than a point per game, sends it in now. It's on the far corner for Penn State. A shot from the point goes wide. Barrett on the right side. Another shot off of man and over the net. Michigan tries to clear it. Penn State keeps it in on the far corner. Battling for it now. Michigan sends it over to number 13. Now it's on the far near wing. Penn State tries to clear again. Luce has it. Luce loses it. Summers trying to recompose the team. Now Hayhurst all alone. It's a breakaway. Takes a shot. Goes right wide. It's going around the net out of the zone. Smirnov lost an edge. Fell to a knee. Losing opportunity for Penn State. Van Wy sends it into the zone. He gets knocked away by Penn State. Now Hayhurst sends it in. There's an offsides not called. Now it is. And Michigan will have a face-off outside of the zone.
That was another great chance for Hayhurst on the breakaway, but he got a little bit too excited with the potential one-on-one opportunity. Sent it far right, as you mentioned, and close offsides call here. But Michigan not backing down from the fast pace and trying to capitalize off that fast tempo.
Van Wy versus Lucchesi. Van Wy wins, sends it to Hayhurst. Summers sends it back over to Pearson on the right side. He loses it over into the zone. Penn State gets control of it. Raby looks like he lost it. Now with Penn State trying to send something up. Smirnov across the block M, sends it to the left wing. A shot goes wide right. Round the net. Penn State collecting it, number 4. Looks for a shot, doesn't find anything, sends it back behind the net for Michigan. 25, Gobetz with it on the point. Sends it another shot wide. A lot of shots being missed here by Penn State, and Michigan finally able to clear the zone. Number 27, Nolan Moyle, takes down a Penn State player who was able to pass it away in time first. Now Sucisi tries to pass it. Van Wy blocks the pass, sends it up the left wing for Michigan. Penn State able to clear, but Pearson gets a stick on it first, dumps into the zone, and a full switch for Michigan. Now behind the net, number 4 for Penn State, Chris Mailari took a costly penalty last game, allowing Michigan to score their 3rd goal. Now he's getting up across the block M, dumps into the zone. He'll get off the ice, sends around the net. In the near corner, it goes up in the netting and out of play. Face off for just outside the zone. Someone to look for. This 4th line is packed with talent. 2 NHL prospects, Eric Ciccolini for the New York Rangers and Johnny Beecher for the Bruins.
Beecher has had his moments this season for sure, young guy, but he is really going to be an important player for Michigan looking into the second half of the season. Going to really rely on him for a lot of production. Beecher
wins the draw, sends it out to York, then over to Luke Martin on the right wing. It's dumped in, and Jones will stop it behind the net. Raby sends it along in the near corner. The puck goes out to York at the point. York to Raby back behind the goal line. Sent around the net, and Penn State will control. Connor McEachern will send it up on the left wing. Martin will get a stick on it. Ciccolini passing to Raby. Raby loses it between his skates. A Penn State player lost a stick, but Raby was checked off his feet almost into the Penn State bench. And now Michigan has the puck behind their net. They lose it. A big hit in the corner there, and Michigan maintains control. A pass sent for Ciccolini gets broken up, but Cam York has it. York will bring it towards the net, around the net, looking for a wraparound. Jones got a pad on it, sent it away, and now Ciccolini chasing Phillips up the ice on the left wing, and Strauss-Mann will cover it and stop play.
And up and down, pace continues. Cam York getting a chance at it this time, and Michigan's staying pretty close now in the shots category, 13-11, still in favor of Penn State with 16:07 to go in period number 2, but Michigan certainly come out with an aggression on offense that has been very noticeable, and if they can continue to do so, they have a chance to draw an equalizer.
The face-off to Strauss-Mann's right, Nick Pastashov lost it. Penn State sends it around the boards, and it goes out of the zone. Mailari not able to keep it in. Mailari passes across to Evan Bell, back to Mailari in their own zone. Penn State rushing on the left wing, entering the zone. Mailari takes a shot, blocked by Strauss-Mann, and Michigan has control, sent out of play by Blankenberg. Looks like he was trying to pass it along the boards, and Talvite knocks a stick off course. Now there will be a face-off to Strauss-Mann's left. Nick Pastashov going to line up for it against Folks, the first line for Penn State and the second line for Michigan. People are discussing now.
Not sure what the issue is.
It looks like the puck went cleanly off of this Michigan stick. Maybe you might be discussing a delay of game potential. But definitely waiting around for a face-off. No Penn State player there waiting to take it. It looks like they were checking if the fan was okay when this puck went over the ice. He is, and the face-off is won by Michigan. They will send it up the left wing. Folks for Penn State will get it, sending it over to number 17, Evan Barrett. It will go off of his skate and into the Penn State bench. Another stoppage.
And there weren't very many whistles in the first period, and really not too many early on here in the second, but a couple now back-to-back. And that pace is very, very fast because of that, and see how much this puck can stay in play in the second period, but certainly was quick in the first.
Face-off in the center, lost by Michigan. Penn State tries to control, taken away by Lockwood, sending it back into his own zone on the far boards. Number 7 for Michigan sends it around his net. Blakenberg, he loses it to Limoges, who will send it around the net, trying to get something going. Lambert knocked off his feet. Lockwood gets control of the puck, though, for Michigan. And a pass over to Slaker. Tripped now. He falls down, and Penn State has a penalty coming. We will see what it is and who it's on. It's a little bit of a skirmish in the corner, but a couple players taken off their feet. We almost saw a fight yesterday.
Delayed penalty means Michigan will have an opportunity to power play, and they gave Penn State numerous opportunities. Second period, Michigan's got to find a way to make the most of this power play.
It will be Michigan's second penalty, second power play of the night. The first one roughing in the first period. Nothing came from that. This one is number 17, Evan Barrett taken for cross-checking.
Barrett had that nice goal in the first period.
There'll be a face-off to the right of Jones. Hayhurst will take it against number 13 on Penn State, Pittsburgh Penguin, Nikita Pavlichev. Getting set for the face-off here. Hayhurst wins. Lockwood over to York at the point. York looking at what to do with it. Over to Lockwood. Blankenberg in the center. Takes a slap shot. Goes wide. York racing for it now. Sends it around the net to Hayhurst. Hayhurst misses it. Slaker behind the net. A pass looking for Lockwood. Lockwood did not have his head up. It goes past him. Now number 13 for Penn State entering the zone. Dumps it instead. York will collect it on the left wing. He'll pass cross ice to Hayhurst. Hayhurst enters the zone. A cross ice pass to Slaker on the left side now. Slaker controlling it, losing it to McEachern. McEachern trying to clear it. Summers is there at the point to stop it. Glove it down. York on the far side now. Michigan takes a shot off a one-timer. Lockwood unable to get anything going as Jones smothers it against his chest.
I mean, man, what a save for Peyton Jones. Will Lockwood rifling that one in from point-blank range. I mean, first period, Michigan had several opportunities similar to that one, but couldn't get any power on the puck. That was not the case there as Lockwood rifles it in, but Peyton Jones, right place, right time. Great save.
He loses the draw. Penn State looking to clear. It goes off two skates. Both players. Lambert now with the look. He takes a shot, saved, and Penn State will clear it all the way. Almost a shot on goal as Mann puts it away to York. York going around the net looking to start something. Sends it to the right wing. Pastashov takes a shot, sending it to the other Pastashov. Nothing comes of that as it goes behind the net. Lambert falls onto the ice. Beecher passing to York at the point. Now Beecher again. Lambert takes a shot off of the high chest area of Jones. Pastashov behind the net. Lambert in the near corner. Lambert with two Penn State defenders on him. It goes around the net, hits the ref, and knocked down. And now it'll be almost cleared by Penn State. All kept in by Michigan. Mike Pastashov takes a shot, blocked, takes another shot. He misses that one. Lambert with the bit now. Nick Pastashov, another shot blocked. Lambert takes a shot. That goes wide. Summers on the near side. Nick Pastashov loses it to Bell. Bell sends it behind his net to Snell. And he will clear that. It's now behind the net. It's always dangerous when a goalie goes out behind the net, but Mann does it safely this time. Summers going up the right side. Got a player pestering him behind. State is out there. A far shot from the face-off circle. And now there's a scuffle in front of the net. Mann is able to smother it on one knee, and that is the stoppage of play there. 12:45 remaining, 2-1, Michigan losing to Penn State.
Well, what a save for Strauss-Mann, but on that power play for Michigan, just so many opportunities to score. I mean, some great looks, just unable to get one into the back of the net. I mean, it's got to be tough for these shooters to just come so close and have great chances like that, but they've got to just keep on taking them and pushing on those power plays. I mean, eventually one of those is gonna find pay dirt.
In between periods, there was a competition throwing a puck almost like curling style towards a target, and Karen Blankenberg, family of Michigan player Blankenberg, Nick Blankenberg, wins the Pretzel Bell Award. It's good to see parents coming out here supporting their family members.
That's a pretty nice award. I mean, the Vizio one, not bad, and there's a Riz Chris up there too. I mean,
don't ever underestimate Bridgestone tires.
I guess in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have them.
The winter's coming up. Only a few days away. Final season rolls around. That ends right before that last day of final season is also the last day of fall. The face-off will be to Strauss-Mann's right as the hockey pep band plays Hail to the Victors. Looks like Rady, Blankenberg, Van Wy, Luce, and York will be out there for Michigan, along with one other player who I can't see. And the puck is dropped. Van Wy loses it in a tie-up. It goes to the far corner, and Blankenberg will dump it out. Dump and chase, and it will be icing back over to in front of Strauss-Mann. 12:36 remain.
The shots are pretty even now in the second period. Was tied at 14 a minute ago. Penn State able to create a couple of looks recently as they're facing off now in the Michigan zone once again. Michigan's got to just keep staying aggressive.
Van Wy against Barrett. Van Wy wins this one. Blankenberg pinned against the boards by Barrett. And now we'll send it up to Moyle. Moyle tries to cross the ice, pass to Raby, sends it into the zone. Van Wy trying to get away from Phillips. He is unable to, and Penn State will launch something on the right wing. Barrett sending it crossing past the center block M, and a shot goes wide for Penn State. Now it's behind the net. Barrett pinned against the boards by Luce. Luce trying to get it. It's beneath the skate of Barrett. Barrett falls down as the puck goes away, and now Michigan will clear. And there will be another icing.
Yeah, the whistle's really starting to pick up now, second period, and gives teams in such a fast-paced game a chance to catch their breath a little bit. Not so reckless up and down, but that could help Michigan, slow things down a little bit. I think Penn State really got comfortable towards the end of the first period, and that end of the period might have deterred some of their momentum they had. Michigan's got to find a way to create some of their own off that first goal they scored.
Van Wy loses it to Susie. Now it's behind the net. Penn State trying to control it. They lose it. Now it's sent up the boards, almost out of the zone. DeNaples keeps it in, and now Raby takes it out of the zone. Van Wy on the left wing dumps it in. Finally, this unit's able to get off the ice. Penn State controls on the left side, bringing it across. DeNaples pass to Susisi, and it is an other icing. This time the faceoff will be in front of Jones. Last night we saw Jones give up 3 goals and then get pulled in favor of Oscar Audio. Does not look like that'll happen tonight.
Yeah, he certainly looks more comfortable tonight. Had some very nice saves so far.
Winborg, the loose skater from Michigan, he'll take the face-off, sending it back to Beecher. Beecher's taking it around the net. Wraparound attempt goes wide. York has it now. York going to send it behind the net for Winborg. Winborg to Beecher on the other side behind the net. Ciccolini takes a shot. That hits someone and goes out of play. And now there will be a face-off. Looks like outside of the zone. I'm mistaken, it will be to the left of Jones. Winborg, Ciccolini, and Beecher still out there. Summers and Keaton Pearson, 2 fresh defenders for Michigan. Penn State wins the draw, bringing it behind their net, sending it round the boards. Sternshine passing it to Pavlichev. He gets it into the zone, knocked away by Michigan. Ciccolini trying to control it. It's back into the Michigan zone. Summers passing it to Pearson, trying to get it to Winborg. He does. A strong pass, bounces off the stick of Winborg. Penn State will control. Pavlichev sending it behind his own net. He skates with it. A long pass towards Sternshine. Sternshine gets it into the zone. It goes off the ref and around the boards. Second time the ref has interfered with a Penn State play. Not complaining. Now Ciccolini has it on the far side. He takes a pass. One-timer off of a Penn State player. The pass went wrong. Strauss-Mann able to save it. Now Summers controls, passing to Ciccolini. And now he will take a clear, and that hit a Penn State player, so it will not be icing. Penn State controls behind the net, number 16. Sending it to Phillips. Phillips over to number 20, who will dump it into the zone. Dump and chase by Penn State. Loose for Michigan will be able to get it. He tries to send it up the boards to Mike Postashov. He'll try to get it farther. Penn State sends it back inside the zone. Now it's behind the net. Strauss-Mann goes there. Michigan tried to clear it. Penn State takes a shot. It's blocked. Michigan tries to clear again. It's not kept in the zone by McEachern. It just left the zone, and now it'll be offsides. The Coke bottle race is going on for Michigan.
Yesterday at the basketball game against Iowa Star Wars night, they had a Baby Yoda race, and the kids, I don't really think, understood the exact goal of the race, considering that basically none of them moved for several minutes before one kid, for whatever reason, just started hauling, and one because it was literally the only kid that crawled the other side. It was pretty funny to watch.
That sounds amazing. Here in the bottle race, there was a stairwell that one of the lower rows had to cross, and the Coke bottle fell into the stairwell.
Well, that's tough. It's tough.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Pretty well attended game once again here at Yost. Last game before the Christmas break for Michigan with some time off.
WCBN. Michigan wins the draw. It'll be behind their net. Hayhurst will try to get something going on the right wing. He is unable to. Now Penn State all alone in front of the net. A shot hits the side of the netting. A tough angle shot for Limoges. And now it'll be a battle behind the net. Limoges has it, sending out to DeNaples at the point. Sends a cross. Back to Limoges in front of the net. Patted away by Strauss-Mann. Now it's behind the net for Penn State. Looking what to do with it to DeNaples at the right point. Sends it shot wide, hit Barrett. Barrett sends it to Limoges. Limoges misses. Now number 2 for Penn State on the left point. Back to Limoges. A shot off of Strauss-Mann. Strauss-Mann makes another save and is tried to be cleared by Michigan, and it is under Hayhurst's control. Lockwood in front of him. Lockwood almost a breakaway now. He falls, takes a shot after he falls. And number 16 for Michigan, Jacob Hayhurst, takes a shot. He misses the first attempt, lands the second one, and Jones will save it. Smother it, and it will be a face-off.
Man, and I mean, Will Lockwood, some nifty skating to get down there, loses his footing, but on the ground still making a play on the puck, and Hayhurst had a chance at it, but unable to get some power behind the puck, and this little dribbler that is an easy stop for Peyton Jones.
How good do you have to be to take a shot while sitting down? Beecher against Pavlichev for the face-off to Jones's right. Ref's warning Beecher not to get too close. Pavlichev will win that for Penn State. Try to clear it. He does. It leaves the zone. Summers gains control, though. Ciccolini sending it over to Pearson. Pearson does not take the pass well, and now he sends it around his own net. Summers will send it right back to Pearson on the far corner. Pearson does a spin move to keep the defenders at bay. He is taken down. A good check by Penn State. Now they'll control. Mailari will take a shot. It goes wide left. And now Raby will have it, sending it on the right wing. He passes to Beecher. Beecher enters the zone. Beecher will send it around into the corner. Ciccolini's there. Ciccolini's pinned against the boards, and now so is Raby. Penn State will try to clear. They are able to. Ciccolini is there, though, to stop it. And now Summers will have control. Summers sends it into Ciccolini. Ciccolini takes a shot. That goes wide, and Michigan will do a full change. Pavlichev on the right wing for Penn State, now entering the zone. He takes a pass to number 10. Number 10's shot stopped by Strauss-Mann. There was almost an opportunity for another rebound to go in, someone to take out the trash, but Michigan cleared it away. Nick Postashov sends a pass to Morgan on the left side. Morgan goes behind the net, passes it to in front. No one was there. Nick Postashov attempting a wraparound. That doesn't work, and there's a little bit of pushing after the whistle here. 7:41 remain in the second period. Jones takes off his mask, gets some water. Michigan will change players. Those Postashov brothers are something to watch out for. When you're a sibling with someone, you
chemistry.
Absolutely. Daniel and Henrik Sedin.
Well, there was a couple, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but it felt like they were on the ice a lot together, and they were always running into each other. Like, they're almost too connected.
Well, that doesn't seem to be a problem this year. Blankenberg now with it, Michigan. He's at the point, tries to send the pass to Van Wy in front of the net. Van Wy loses it. He's fighting for it, gets it back. Moyle now in the near corner. Slaker all alone in front. Slaker takes a shot. Glove save in the air by Jones, snatching that one. And now it'll be another face-off in front of Jones.
Oh, that's a phenomenal save. Just absolutely incredible to grab that in the one-on-one situation. Not just block it, but to grab it with a glove. I mean, that's a tough save right there. I mean, that's as impressive as it can get, really. I
would not be surprised if he has a future playing shortstop for Penn State baseball this summer.
My goodness.
All right, Beecher now looking for a face-off against Connor McEachern. McEachern wins, sends it back, and Penn State will clear it. It goes all the way, and will it be an icing? The answer is yes. Cam York gets there first, and it will be sent back to the other side. Looks like he'll be to the left of Jones again. Penn State is 8-3-0 at home, 3-2-0 on the road. Michigan 4-3-2. It's 2 overtime losses at home. Penn State number 6, Michigan Wolverines unranked. Wolverines lose the draw. McEachern now sending it on the right wing, dumps it behind the net. Martin is able to get there first for the Wolverines, tries to clear it to Naples, takes a shot, that goes wide, and now Ciccolini will control. Ciccolini loses it now. Penn State has control. Another shot from just at the blue line, trapped in between the legs of Strauss-Mann, and the children of Yost showing their appreciation for Strauss-Mann.
Strauss certainly doing his job to keep Michigan in this game at 2-1 with 6:58 left in the second period.
He has the same goals against average as his backup, Carolina Hurricane prospect Hayden Levine, but a higher save percentage. Hayden Levine has only played in 1 game this year.
Yeah, Strauss certainly cementing his role as a starting goalie this season after the competition that was in place last year.
The sophomore, see 2 more years of him unless he defects like Jack LaFontaine. Excuse me. Now there will be a penalty against Penn State.
Barrett going back to the box.
He seems shocked.
He's been there before today.
It'll be the 3rd power play opportunity for Michigan, and that will be... He was in there for cross-checking last time. This time he is in there for, we will let you know, minor slashing.
Michigan was really able to get after Penn State in the last power play. No goal out of it, but really got some great looks, saw some serious aggression.
Their power play is certainly something that needed improvement so far this season. Taking a couple games to even score a power play goal. Cam York now at the point, sending it over to Slaker. Slaker sends it behind the net. Number 16 for Michigan will control it back to Blankenberg at the blue line, back to number 16, Jacob Hayhurst. Hayhurst will send it to Slaker, now back to Blankenberg on the right side. York on the left side, got plenty of open ice around him. He takes a shot, looks like Lockwood was trying to tip it in. He misses. Now Slaker sending it across the ice, and Penn State will clear. Now Penn State almost on a breakaway. Number 20 makes a save. Strauss-Mann extending his leg on his right side. He saves it. And now Michigan, Lockwood has it on the right wing. Lockwood passing over to York. York takes a pass to Hayhurst. Hayhurst takes a shot. Another shot. He's knocked down and smothered by Jones.
Another great save by Jones. Another great save by Mann. I mean, both goalies really getting after it now.
6 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. Shots count as 19-21 in favor of Penn State. 1 minute and 16 seconds remain on the power play. Nick Pastashov, Beecher, Mike Pastashov, Lambert, and Summers on the ice for Michigan. Penn State looks like they'll have their number 2 penalty kill there. It's comprised of their 4th line, offensive line. Lambert, Michigan wins the draw. Lambert sending it to Summers on the far point. Mike Pastashov to his brother behind the net. Mike back to Nick. Nick skating in front over to his brother behind the net. A pass out in front for Beecher. Lambert now with a good look. He doesn't take a shot though. Summers in the center at the blue line. Over to Beecher. Beecher in front. His shot's blocked. Beecher regains control from a Penn State player looking to clear it. Beecher passes over to number 21. Back to Beecher. Beecher takes a shot. That's blocked, and Penn State will clear. Strauss-Mann stopping that one, leaving it for Summers. Summers will take it behind the net. Get something going on the right side. Michigan skates into the zone. It's lost, but Nick Pastashov gets it back. Pastashov sending it to Lambert. Lambert passing out to Beecher. He had a good look, but he lost it. His stick was lifted, and Penn State will clear again. Now 17 seconds remain in the power play. Strauss-Mann doesn't see the Penn State player behind him, but he does send it off in time. A strong hit, snapping the stick of Pavlichev as he hit a Michigan player. Van Wy loses it to Byro. Byro takes to clear, but Martin has it instead. And now Penn State returns to full strength. A shot goes wide around the net. Sasisi takes a shot. That goes off the standing man. Now Penn State, Byro tries to control it behind the net. Byro looking to pass it. Raby takes it though. And now Raby will pass it over to Moyle as it clears the zone. Moyle re-enters the zone. He looks for a pass. He whiffs on that one, though. Loose sending it over to the far side. No one was there. Michigan's able to control number 27. Weaves through defenders. Matched up by Jones. He's got skill with his glove. And now there will be no penalty on the takedown of Moyle.
Peyton Jones, senior goalie for the Nittany Lions, really having a nice game, and especially after last night, some struggles.
It's the season of holidays. The pep band during the intermission playing quite a bunch of Christmas songs, and there is a birthday somewhere.
The former Michigan hockey coach Red Berenson, his 80th birthday. The rink is named after Coach Berenson. Very interesting coach. I've actually had the opportunity to listen to him speak a few times in some of my classes. Still sticks around the Ann Arbor area. He's around the program as well. Mel Pearson was one of his assistant coaches. Now obviously the head coach for the Michigan hockey program, but Red Berenson really turned Michigan into the hockey power that it was, and really put Michigan hockey on the map.
What classes did you hear him speaking?
Came to my history of college athletics class last year and my coaching as leading class this year.
That's awesome.
Really took emphasis into doing things the right way and developing his players for not just hockey, but for life after hockey as well. He talked a lot about that, and the importance of what his players would do for Michigan, not just what would Michigan do for them. So,
Penn State wins the draw. The puck trickles out in front of Jones. Jones will smother it again, and the faceoff will be to his right. 4 minutes and 2 seconds remain this time. Lambert facing off against number 20, Arnie Tavlitia. That's a name. Now Lambert getting out of the faceoff circle, sent away by the refs. Slaker instead will take this draw. And Penn State wins again, sending along the boards, clear out of the zone. Blankenberg stops it, though. He controls, sends it in. Lambert got in his way a little bit. Now Cam York sending it to Slaker. It's now on the right side. Lockwood, the captain for the Wolverines, he loses that puck as it's knocked away by Cole Holtz. Michigan has the control of the puck now. Sent behind the net. Lambert going to the far corner, passing out to Blankenberg at the point. Blankenberg skating towards the face-off circle. His stick's tied up. They takes a shot. It's stopped by the pads of Jones. Lambert now controlling it. Sends it back around the net for Slaker. Slaker behind the net. He comes out. Reverses, turns the other way. A pass looking for Lockwood. He finds it. Lockwood takes a shot. Lambert's now there on the near side to control the puck. Lambert looking for where to pass to. He goes over to York at the point. York passes to the other side. No one's there, and Penn State will take control. Summers is there as Penn State dumps it, looking after they got the icing, after they would not get the icing. And now Michigan clears it out. Martin, the puck has just crossed the blue line, barely, and now it's offsides.
Tough call for the ref on the other side of the ice to make, but
the call is the call.
Very close.
And now the face-off will be to the right side, the far side. Michigan's right wing, Penn State's left. Beecher will take it against McEachern. Penn State will win that, but they are clear. Has been sent to Michigan. Michigan sends it into the zone. Excuse me. And now Summers gets his glove on it, stops the clear. A shot by Raby. Saved, blocked away. Looks like it hit a man in front and then off the chest of Jones. And now Penn State looks to control as they're behind their net trying to get it away. And they do. They clear the zone. Summers has it, though, at the block M. He skates backwards, sends it to the left wing. Raby unable to get to it as Gobetz knocks it away. McEachern sends it into the zone. Strauss-Mann behind the net. He loses control of that puck, though, as he'll go around the boards. Now Luke Martin for Michigan, sends it in. It's behind the net. Beecher will try to get there first. He does not. Snell does. Snell for Penn State now coming up the left side. He crosses through the block M, taking it himself. He sends it into the zone. It goes around the boards, and now Pearson for Michigan will try to send it up the right wing. He gets it to Van Wy. Van Wy stopped by two Penn State defenders. Van Wy will send it back to Pearson behind the net, and now is in the near corner with Luce. Luce loses it, to Byro. Byro sends it to Snell at the point. Snell looking like he's going to take a slap shot. He is unable. He takes a wrist shot instead. It goes off the stick of man, ramps up into his chest. It's dangerous as goalie to put your stick so far in front of you. Sometimes the puck can be used that as a ramp. He is able to control the rebound though, and the play is stopped. The faceoff will be to his right.
Strauss man staying big for Michigan and still going to give them a chance. And these shots are starting to escalate now. 23 for Michigan, 24 for Penn State. Minute 35 left in the second period. Strauss man keeping his team in this game.
Nick Pastashov will take the faceoff against Susisi for Penn State. Susisi will win that, try to get in front of the net. He does not, as Mike Pastashov is able to get it away. Pastashov to Pastashov on the near side. Susisi takes control of it, sends it into the zone. Martin gloves it down, and it's now trying to clear it. He does successfully. Susisi is there again. Attempted pass to Phillips. Morgan gloves it down, and now it's to Mann behind the net. Mann sends it to York on the near corner behind him. Over to Martin. Luke Martin. 1 minute remaining in the period. He sends it up. Mike Pastashov gets a stick on it, so it will not be icing. Naples sends it to Talavine. And now Michigan controls on their right side. Slaker loses it to Talavine. Let's see how to pronounce that later. And now Luce has it behind the net. Luce for Michigan, losing it. Now Morgan has it. Blakenberg skates around the net on the near side now. Slaker passing over to Morgan. Morgan sends it in. It will not be icing. He was beyond the center line. Lambert to Slaker. He loses it. Pavlichev for Penn State now with control, attempting a pass to Sternshine. Luce takes control from it with a good stick lift. Blankenberg looks for a shot. He does get it, and there will be a penalty with 12 seconds remaining in this period on Penn State. The fourth power play for Michigan. They have gone 0 for 3. Penn State went 1 for 3. And it is number 13 for Penn State. Pavlichev for slashing.
And so, Michigan probably won't get much out of this here in the second period with only 12 seconds left, but this will be a great opportunity at the beginning of the third period.
They'll be looking to tie it up here. Tonight is the Big Ten football championships. Michigan wins the draw. Cam York. Slaker takes a shot off the blocker of Jones. Lockwood has it now. Period, rather. Alex Strain will be back on play-by-play. Until then, we will see you later.
Welcome back now to the third period of action between Michigan and Penn State hockey here at Yost Ice Arena. I'm Alex Drain, now joined by Joshua Tenzer for the third period. I was off on that second. You were calling the second period, and at least my takeaway there as Michigan enters this third down 2-1 is that if the Wolverines continue that offensive play, they're going to get at least one goal here in this third period.
I would agree with that. Their pace, they took control of the pace in the second period. Instead of playing on the back foot, they pushed forward. They took less penalties the second period. I think they only had 1 or 0, as opposed to Penn State's 3.
No penalties.
No penalties, as Penn State's 3. They have yet to capitalize on any of those. But I feel like if Penn State keeps making those mistakes, they will.
And Michigan does start on the power play here in the third period. They have 1:48, so almost a full 2 minutes of power play time. Once we get rolling in about 30 seconds. Goal scoring tonight, Nate Soucis on the power play in the first period, followed by Evan Barrett, two of the top goal scorers on the season for Penn State with those two tallies. And then Luke Morgan just 30 seconds into the second period for Michigan on a really strange sort of rolling puck right in the house that he jackhammered home in the top corner over the arm of Peyton Jones. Jones has been really, really good for Penn State tonight outside of that one goal that he really had no chance at. Strauss-Mann only made a few saves in that second period, but he did come up with a couple big ones as the Nittany Lions win the opening draw here as we get rolling in the third period. They hoisted all the way back down. Obviously no icing on the penalty kill for the Nittany Lions. It's York and Blankenberg out there as defensemen on the first power play unit for Michigan, with Lockwood, Hayhurst, and Slaker, the veteran senior laden power play unit, but a very bad zone entry there, and it's given away to the Nittany Lions immediately. Blankenberg has to pick it back up in the defensive zone, lays it off to York, who then skates into the middle of the neutral zone, and up comes Jacob Hayhurst. He skates on in, tried to hand it off to Lockwood, and then cleared all the way back down by the Nittany Lions. 1 minute to go here in the power play for the Wolverines. 19:10 to go in the contest. There's a long shot in, deflected off the pad of Peyton Jones, and now Michigan can finally set up the power play. 48 seconds to go in it. York across to Summers at the right point. He sends it down low right along the line for Slaker. Now they've got Mike Pastujov out there. He's at the half wall. Now he sends it right back down low. Skating in front, Nick Pastujov, a shot and a chance by Beecher, goes high and over top. Beecher tried to get it to Summers, but then it will go all the way back down the length of the ice. Man comes out, plays it with the paddle over to Summers. 22 seconds remaining in the Michigan power play. They need one goal, trailing 2-1. Martin across center ice. He sends it all the way in. A weird bounce in front of Peyton Jones, and he sprawls out and gets the trapper on it.
Those 15 minutes in between periods were instrumental for Penn State. Michigan had a lot of momentum going into that fourth power play of the period. Penn State was able to slow them down, stop their attacks for the first minute of this power play, minute of this third period. Michigan was able to turn on the heat a little bit here, but with how many seconds remaining? Now 14 seconds remaining on the power play. We'll see if anything can come from this.
And now there's a tie-up off that offensive zone draw for the Wolverines. Out to Martin at the point. He skates in, takes a shot, rebound, banging away, and Michigan couldn't bury it. Now it comes out to the side. Luce plays it down low to Moyle. Now Moyle across, out to the point. Luce another try. That one knocked down, and now a potential break for Penn State the other way. Pavlichev out of the box. He comes in on net, and his shot off the mark. Saved by Strauss-Mann. Comes up with a big pad save on that breakaway chance. Is the gargantuan 6'8 centerman is denied, and a really, really good scoring opportunity out of the box. Now a chance out in front, and a shot from Moyle goes wide. Again, this sort of helter-skelter pace when you play a team like Penn State that takes as many shots as they do, as a try goes through the crease and nothing in on net. Now Michigan brings it out the other direction. 17:35 to go in the game. Over to Keaton Pearson at the side, and he takes a shot from the point, easily skipping into the glove of Jones, who holds on for a whistle.
From what I've seen this season, this Michigan team sort of seems like a weird comparison, but the Pokemon Ditto. It just takes the shape of whatever team it's facing. Penn State takes a lot of shots, Michigan outshooting them 29-25. Minnesota plays physical, Michigan plays physical. Clarkson takes no penalties, Michigan takes no penalties. And Luce looks really mad on the bench, smashing a stick against the... Van Wy looks really mad, smashing his stick against the bench.
Offensive zone draw now for Adam Winborg. He wins it up to the top. Keaton Pearson sends it along below where you've got Raby there now getting pushed down sort of to the side. Raby picks it up in the corner. Now against those boards, and Penn State is able to get it out. Keaton Pearson tries to keep an extended offensive zone possession going. Couldn't quite do so, but Winborg picks it up now across center ice. Summers along, shot in, goes well wide of Peyton Jones into the corner. Picked up by Winborg and then taken away immediately there by Paul DeNaples and then back into the neutral zone. Michigan trailing 2-1, out shooting Penn State though 29-25. Nittany Lions 6th ranked in the country as Peyton Jones hangs on to a harmless shot from center ice. And we'll get a whistle, 16:51 to go. Michigan and Penn State played a pretty even first period there. And then right at the final about 3 minutes of the period, Penn State got a goal on a power play. It was their third power play try of the period after Michigan took a sloppy too many men. And then right after they scored on the power play, they tallied once more with their really senior superstar Evan Barrett scoring. Make it 2-0. Michigan scored early in the second, nothing since then, 2-1.
Michigan received 0 votes in last week's rankings. I would not be surprised after them beating Penn State 4-1, almost holding them to a shutout until the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, if they could get a sweep here, things could start to turn around for this really tough season for Michigan so far. Michigan does lose that offensive zone draw, and it comes back out into the neutral zone. Nothing really setting up in terms of a coherent rush there, and now Lockwood picks it up, and he's going to try to use that speed with Slaker out there. Banks it off the boards. They're playing with Lambert on the top line. Penn State able to get right to it, and they cycle it out, and Sam Sternshine sends it down the length of the ice. Strauss-Mann comes out behind to play it over to Cam York. Lambert, nice little pass to Lockwood. Slaker, now they try to come out 2-on-2. Lockwood couldn't quite get around Nittany Lion defender along the boards, and Michigan is content to just try for a change. Blankenberg carries it in almost by himself. Now Slaker comes in to give some help. Van Wy took a shot that was blocked off a skate and then flipped up into the air. Potential one-on-one rush the other direction. Nittany Lions come in, circle well around, and now a pass to the middle. Potential wraparound try. Now a shot. That one goes through the crease. Good save, though, by Strauss-Mann. And an offensive opportunity there. Liam Folks was the one that took the shot. Went up off the shoulder and then dribbled through the blue paint and out the other side. Set up down behind where Luce has got it. Now banging away there. Barrett and Folks. 5 bodies. Blankenberg picks it free. And now Michigan has numbers potentially. 4-on-3 the other direction. Though some tired bodies, and the Wolverines and Nittany Lions will both get pieces of changes. And now a giveaway behind the net. A wraparound try for Van Wy. He bangs away there with Moyle. And Michigan couldn't fit it home. Shots now 31-26 as a weird sloppy giveaway. Michigan was in the midst of a change, and now a shot goes high and out of play. Carrying it in and just trying to get something going was Cole Holtz. I don't think that got any of a Michigan stick. And that, I believe, is Jim Harbaugh on the Jumbotron, showing him seated behind the Michigan bench.
His season's almost through. Garrett Van Wy firing on absolutely all cylinders today. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten any points yet, but if he keeps playing like he does, I would not be surprised to see him on the score sheet.
Long stretch pass off the face-off win by Michigan for Luke Morgan. Couldn't quite get to it. Now that one whacked out of play into the netting. 14:58 to go, and the fans went wild after a fan caught that one. It evaded the netting, and a nice play by that guy in the vest. They are not going to get a commercial timeout, though, despite it being under the 15-minute mark remaining in the third period. Morgan unable to win that draw, but Michigan is able to hold it in. Mike Pastujov tried to do so. Now Keaton Pearson takes a shot through traffic that Jones didn't see to the last minute. Finally got his blocker on it. Now it bounces around in the corner. Nick Pastujov down there with Morgan and Mike as well. Penn State gets to it, and they flip it up into the zone. Smirnov goes in after it. He picked up an assist in the earlier goal, and a bad giveaway there by Michigan in their own end. Brandon Byro takes a shot through traffic, but held onto with that really strong left glove of Strauss-Mann, and now some pushing and shoving after the play as we will have a commercial timeout. 14:30 to go in the third period. 2-1, Penn State still leading, but Michigan continues to get good offensive chances.
Speaking of Harbaugh, in Big Ten news, Wisconsin was winning 14-0. That may still be holding. I'm checking right now. And the answer is yes. Wisconsin is still beating number 1 Ohio State, 14-0.
Looks like Ohio State in the red zone, but obviously a big game that is on championship weekend. Bowl games will be announced tomorrow, and we'll find out where Michigan is going, likely either the Holiday Bowl in San Diego or the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, as they've got some sort of dance graphic on the Jumbotron with Christmas images, and the crowd in the Children of Yost are just going wild. Not exactly sure what that was all about.
We will see. I remember on Thursday I said that Georgia was going to beat LSU. I was very wrong there. I was so very wrong, as Georgia lost 10-37. Utah lost to Oregon 37-15, eliminating the Pac-12 from any college football playoffs.
Yep, Utah not able to be that hope that the Pac-12 wanted again. So out of the commercial timeout, 14:30 to go in the contest. 2-1 Penn State on top. Michigan wins that defensive zone draw to the left of Strauss-Mann, and Slaker carries it out with Lockwood. Michigan in on sides. Long shot in on Peyton Jones. Took a big, juicy rebound, but the senior netminder for the Nittany Lions able to get his big glove down on it. But it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Wolverines. They continue to pepper Peyton Jones, and for a Penn State team that has led the NCAA in shots taken 4 straight seasons, continuing to lead it this year, they are being outshot right now by 6, 33-27, 14:22 to go in the period and the game, as John Beecher comes out. He wins that draw to Ciccolini up to the top. Cam York takes a shot, deflected off a couple skates, now goes down behind Peyton Jones, dug out there nicely by Clayton Phillips, but intercepted at the point. Cam York holds it in, tried to get it over to his fellow freshman Beecher. Instead, it's the senior grad transfer Hayhurst who picks it up. He skates through traffic, and that shot goes in off a skate of Eric Ciccolini. Now it goes out to the point. Luke Martin couldn't quite hold it in. No, he does. Hayhurst gives it over to Ciccolini. He skates in, going to take a try. That shot goes high in the air. Hayhurst with an opportunity on a rebound, and now Penn State carries it out across center ice, and they send it deep. Mann comes out to play it behind, over there to Cam York, up to Hayhurst, over to Ciccolini, now to Beecher. Beecher, who had a goal last night, tries to bring it on in. It was a breakaway goal that he threaded between the legs of Peyton Jones, and the big-bodied first-round pick of the Boston Bruins has it finally taken away. Michigan continues to just dominate play, and that was a stretch pass by Griffin Luce, intended for a couple Michigan players in the neutral zone, and no one touched it. Went all the way down wide of Jones for an icing. So Penn State, who's been on the defensive this whole period more or less, will get an offensive zone draw and an opportunity to put their top line of Evan Barrett, the great third-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, out there to center this upcoming draw.
Something that Strauss-Mann does really well that Jones has trouble with is controlling the rebounds.
Yeah.
Strauss-Mann, I admire his ability to control where the puck is going to go.
Michigan is able to win that draw. They carry it out of their own zone and will help finish off the change. Slaker tried to dangle it in towards the net. Slaker had 2 points last night, and then a weird giveaway. Now Michigan loses it. Limoges picks it up, brings it on in for the Nittany Lions, and a big hard hit from behind by Will Lockwood. Now it pinballs around. Blankenberg tries to pick it up, and he just whacks it past the blue line and out into the neutral zone, where Penn State will set it up. Liam Folks had it on his stick. He lost it. Limoges goes in after it. Now Luce banks it over to Blankenberg. And Nick Blankenberg, the sophomore defenseman for Michigan, dangles around a couple Nittany Lions and then sends it deep. Michigan continuing to get changes as Penn State will get things set up. Grattan had it and then gave it over to Connor McEachern, freshman centerman. They've got an all-freshman fourth line out there for Penn State, rolling with it tonight. The Nittany Lions rely on those top 2 lines to do most of the scoring, a big checking line in the third line, and then those freshmen on the fourth line. Michigan brings it into the neutral zone. Summers bangs it deep. Jones comes out to play it behind. 12:10 to go in period 3. Penn State 2, Michigan 1. Shots 35-27 in favor of the Wolverines. Now they bring it in. Soucis takes a shot into that glove easily of Strauss-Mann, and some pushing after the play. Luke Morgan mixing it up a little bit there with Tyler Grattan right in the crease next to Mann. And with an even 12 minutes on the clock, we'll have a face-off.
This is a less physical game, if you could believe it, than last night. Last night we saw a couple of roughing penalties against Simultaneous roughing penalties. Couple of skirmishes almost break out. Here it just looks like they're defending their goalie, as any hockey team does.
Face-off will come to Straussman's right, Nate Soucis, to do the draw against Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy is able to win it back, but the Michigan couldn't quite clear it out, and a shot from the point by Clayton Phillips went off the stick of Nolan Moyle, and then one hopped in easily on Straussman, who hangs on. 4 seconds come off the clock, and will do another face-off in the exact same spot with the same two men to do it again.
This period's a lot slower than the first two.
Yeah.
I would have said that was better for Michigan, but now it looks like it's better for Penn State, honestly, after the second period.
Soucis wins that draw. He sends it across, and a shot goes up over top of the net, and it tried to trickle down where you might have had a play off the back of the netminder and into the net, but Michigan able to knock that one out of the air and prevent a very, very strange bounce from costing them and making it a 2-goal deficit yet again. They bring it into the offensive end and then repelled back out. Luke Martin skates over to the blue line. He brings it in on sides. He's got a chance and a shot. Saved there by Peyton Jones, but the stay-at-home senior defender, Luke Martin, finally getting involved and making something happen as Dakota Raby and Garrett Van Wy bang away at it down there as the Michigan fourth line goes to work. Nolan Moyle continuing to do well on the forecheck, being sealed off there by Clayton Phillips and Mason Snell, and now some fighting behind the play, and they're not going to stop play, though, to break it up as the two players were separated. Now they finally do, and there's still some pushing going on as Michigan and Penn State both get changes as both teams just kind of stood in the neutral zone and watched behind the play as those two were tussling about 10 feet to the right side of Peyton Jones in the Penn State net. Beecher takes it away with 10:45 to go, and then it goes into the Penn State bench, which he was standing right in front of. We'll have a neutral zone face-off, still 2-1. Penn State on top. Michigan continuing to get some chances. This game getting a little bit chippier.
If that was a tussle, I would say it's a very one-sided tussle. The Penn State player continuing to push the Michigan player down onto the ice. Moyle onto the ice, his head down. And the Children of Yost looking for a penalty, not getting any. Yeah,
these referees letting them play tonight, and you can always respect that. Beecher wins the draw. Loose just sends it deep, and then Chris Millari goes in after it. Millari, one of several Ontario-born players on this Penn State team. Quite a few Canadians and quite a few Russians than what you would see normally in college hockey, which is generally an American-dominated sport with the multitude of junior and pro leagues in other countries. And now we've got some physicality against the boards. Luce got upended right in front of his own bench, and the referees blew the play dead. Don't see any indication that anyone will be going to the box, just trying to break things up as this game continually gets more and more physical. 10:22 to go in period 3.
It looked like when Luce got upended, the puck went up into the Michigan bench or behind the stands.
Yeah. So Lambert will do the draw with Barrett. 10:22 to go in the game. Michigan in need of 1 goal to try and send this game to overtime. They've had a lot of chances, but Peyton Jones has made some excellent saves tonight. Slaker chips it up looking for Lambert, but converging on it as this Penn State top line. Liam Folks, alternate captain, sends it deep. Evan Barrett goes in after it out there with Alex Limoges. Limoges and Barrett were both first team All Big Ten in the preseason projections. Now Penn State carries it up. Here comes Barrett on the side. He takes a high shot, and a save by Mann puts the Trapper down, and we will go to a commercial timeout with 9:52 to go in period 3.
OSU, they had third and goal and fumbled it most recently. So the score is still 14-0. We also missed a fake punt in that game.
Oh, wow.
And now OSU has the ball at their own 29 with 2:42 remaining in the second.
Well, and that's, the interesting thing about that game so far is that what Wisconsin is trying to do is they're trying to just choke the clock out. They're trying to run the ball, trying to just make it so the high-powered offense of Ohio State doesn't really have any opportunities to play with the ball. And, with a 2-touchdown lead with 3 minutes to go before the half, it looks like Wisconsin will get to the half with a lead.
I would agree with that statement. OSU's lowest scoring game of the season was the 28th of the 23rd of November. They scored only 28 points. Now the fans watching a scene from The Mandalorian on the Titantron, the Jumbotron.
The scene with Baby Yoda, which is now gone widely viral.
a very good show. I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
It was Star Wars night at Chrysler last night at basketball. Now out of the timeout, Michigan wins the defensive zone draw, 9:52 to go. And there's a weird shot from a bad angle that man easily gloves, so we'll do another face-off. Just 5 seconds come off the clock out of the timeout. 9:47 to go. Penn State 2, Michigan 1. Wolverines 36-30 in the shot column, but they trail by 1 in the only column that matters. Nick Pastajov wins that draw back for the Wolverines. The senior centerman of Bradenton, Florida, gives it up to Morgan, and then Nick Pastajov across to Cam Yorkie sends it on deep. In to play it behind his own net as Peyton Jones goes along the boards. Penn State trying to dig it out in their own end, but Michigan takes it away, and a backhand try by Pastajov went through the crease. Now the Penn State Nittany Lions pick it up, and they come out the other direction. Nate Soucis sends it deep, one of the senior leaders of this Penn State team, and Soucis has a goal tonight, which continues to extend his team lead in points with 22, also the Big Ten lead in points. Now here comes Nick Pastajov into the zone. He skates in on Peyton Jones, couldn't quite bang it free. Pushing down there, the puck is loose, but they did not. They blew the play dead, and now pushing and shoving. Morgan throws a punch. Penn State throws a punch. A really, really high-action play down there as Michigan was banging away at the puck, and it was very clearly not frozen, but the referees blew the play dead, and the children of Yost right there, not a big fan of that.
This game finding more time in between whistles, more time for players to get frustrated. Michigan should be winning this game by most metrics. Not the score, though. They are clearly frustrated. Van Wy not happy. Morgan not happy.
And
children of Yost not happy.
Yeah. Again, this has become an ever more physical game, and it seems like they're just going to let these teams battle it out, and that's old-fashioned hockey for you.
Still 5-on-5. Raby, Moyle, and Van Wy, Summers, and Pearson.
9:04 to go in the contest. Michigan trailing 2-1. They win that draw just in front of the Penn State blue line, but couldn't get anything going, and Keaton Pearson sends it up. Looking for Moyle. It's Moyle, Raby, and Van Wy. That old-fashioned fourth line out there for Michigan. It was jumbled up on the line card in the pregame. They had broken it up ever so slightly, dropping Raby down to play with Beecher and Ciccolini, but they're back together right now. Penn State sends it deep. That'll be an icing if Michigan can get there, but they cannot, so it's simply a very smart play. Liam Folks beats the Michigan defenders in deep. Dakota Raby, who leads the team in assists, picks it up, passes it for Nolan Moyle, and then taken away is a really nice play there from Chris Malari to repel a long stretch pass that could have freed up a Michigan chance in the offensive end. Carrying it out was Keaton Pearson for a second, had it taken away, and now Malari is right there with Cole Holtz. Now Holtz brings it in on sides. He takes a high slap shot that goes into the glove of Strauss-Mann, and that's really been the story of the shots here in this period for Penn State. Not a lot of really good chances, just long shots from the point that Strauss-Mann easily saves, and they are depending on their goaltender Peyton Jones to preserve this one-goal lead for another 8 minutes and 8 seconds.
That one also looked like it was going high. The children of Yost still complaining about the referees after this long.
Now
Players
they are
hopefully able to move on better than the children have.
They're a passionate bunch down there in the student section, and John Beecher jumps off sides on that potential draw, and the children again are going wild. Cole Holtz takes a shot from the point, and the draft pick of the Los Angeles Kings was not able to see it go through as Michigan blocked it down in front. Now Hayhurst had it and flipped it up into the zone for Ciccolini, or the neutral zone rather, and now Beecher goes in after it. Michigan trying to create some chances there. Ciccolini sends it deep. Wolverines get on sides, and Penn State sets it up behind their own net, going to try to create a potential rush. Cole Holtz throws it on up, and now the attackers go in after it. Connor McEachern down behind the net with Strauss-Mann, and then Hayhurst skates around. Hayhurst goes up the right wing side, now cuts into the middle. Oh boy, Beecher is just off sides, and they blew that one dead with 7:26 to go in period 3. 2-1, Nittany Lions on top.
That was the story of this fourth line last night, constantly off sides. It used to be Ciccolini being a little too eager to get into the play. Now Beecher's line mate. These two, both NHL prospects, both freshmen, going to be on rival teams, the Rangers and the Bruins, when they get out of this.
And that draw, which is just in front of the Penn State blue line, Pavlichev jumped too early. Nikita Pavlichev, a senior, standing 6'8" from Yaroslav, Russia. He is the tallest player in NCAA hockey, a 7th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And a lot of times you see those late-round draft picks of people with strange sizes. He's one of those picks that you pretty much just assume was because he was so big. That interesting mix of size and skill hasn't produced a ton in his time at Penn State, more of a defensive center on this third line. Now carrying into the offensive end is Sam Sternshine, and his shot went high and over top of Strauss-Mann. Now Luke Morgan picks it up along the right wing side as he comes in. Cole Phillips gives him a nice bump there. And now Michigan on the forecheck, and a big hit along the boards, but no penalty coming as Penn State applied a really physical check. And again, they are content to just skate it out to center ice and send it deep, trying to play ever so defensive. And again, very unusual for Penn State with the amount of offense they produce, averaging nearly 4.5 goals per game this season. And then a man goes down, and now a potential rush for the Nittany Lions the other way, but a great play by Jimmy Lambert to poke check that one free and back down the other direction. Penn State 2, Michigan 1, 6:20 to go. Coming on in is Will Lockwood, and he does a nice job to set up a takeaway by Jimmy Lambert, but couldn't quite corral it before Jake Slaker could get there. Now Keaton Pearson over to Will Lockwood. Lockwood skates with it in the middle, right around that big block M at center ice to Summers on the left wing side, carrying it in the offensive end, curling behind the Penn State goal, and their goaltender, Peyton Jones. Now pinned up against the boards, trying to get it free, and now it's chipped up and back down. Slaker goes in after it. Wholesale change coming for Penn State. Now skating around down behind. And Slaker brings it on in, past the blue line, tries to dangle around the Penn State defenders, but unable to do so. Walled off well there by Paul DeNaples. Back to the point, Griffin Luce takes a shot that is deflected off some bodies. Now back out to center ice and sent all the way back down. The hard check applied from behind on Liam Foltz there from Nolan Moyle, a 27-on-26 offense in those two numbers. 5:18 to go in the game, and now Van Wy comes in the right wing side, going to try to send it through. And Moyle couldn't bang it home in front of Peyton Jones. And the Nittany Lions pick it back up behind their own net. 5:05 to go. Michigan's been creating scoring chances for about the last 30 minutes of hockey and still can't find that equalizer, trailing 2-1. No icing as Penn State sends it deep. Man comes out to play it behind. Martin there along the boards. Dug out well by McEachern, and a quick shot and a quick save from Strauss-Mann. 4:49 to go in the game. Penn State 2, Michigan 1.
Those two looks, one for Penn State, one for Michigan, were the best looks those teams have had all period. Strauss-Mann doing a great job to take that away with the glove. And now there's a timeout called. Jones and Van Wy giving such a good opportunity to Moyle on that one. Unable to send anything home, as Moyle just missed the pass and then ran into Jones. A lot of offensive opportunities. Van Wy still being an offensive producer. I'm sure if there were advanced metrics that we could look at, like in the NHL, he would be towards the top.
Yeah. Van Wy, and
sophomore, 200 pounds, 6'2", from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, Van Wy and Beecher have been really the best offensive creators on this Michigan team this season, which again is a little unusual from what you would have expected at the start of the season.
Yep. Van Wy, 7 points. He's second on the team. Beecher, 9. No players with double-digit points, though, as opposed to Penn State with Evan Barrett, 21 points this season now, 17 games played.
So here we go out of the timeout. Penn State able to win that draw. Nate Soucis sort of won it back forward, and he was the first one to it, so it was announced as a face-off win, but Michigan, after a few tangled bodies, is able to come away with it and out to the neutral zone, and you just see the smooth skating of Johnny Beecher. Goes around everybody, takes a shot from a bad angle wide of Peyton Jones. Luke Martin sends it all the way through looking for Hayhurst. He's pinned up against the boards down behind the play there, and now pick out in a shot. Bounced around. Michigan couldn't quite hold it in, though, as it took a big rebound off of Peyton Jones. Beecher back in on side, sends it looking for Hayhurst, as Michigan's sort of in the midst of a bit of a change, and now Hayhurst pinned up against the Penn State bench as everyone's trying to get it all figured out. 4:03 to go. 2-1 Penn State on top. Can Michigan find that final rush? They lead the shot column 38-33, and that's been a story for Michigan this season as the defender Keaton Pearson plays it behind his own net. And that Michigan is one of the top teams in the NCAA in shots taken, but one of the worst teams in actual goal scoring. They've just been unable to find consistent finishers this year as Pearson sends one deep off the pad of Peyton Jones. Now into the middle, Passageoff had it for a second, and now banged back out, 3:30 to go. The question becomes, when are they going to pull Strauss-Mann? Picked up in his own end is Keaton Pearson. This is the final moments for Michigan in this game. Last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Can they find that big goal they've been searching for nearly 2 full periods of hockey along the boards? And Passageoff bangs away at it. Now picks it up, does Folks, and sends it deep. Loose picks it up down behind, and then repelled back into the neutral zone. And all the way down going in after it is Cole Holtz, 2:50 to go. Generally, you see the goalie pulled with around 2 minutes remaining as Nolan Moyle goes down behind the play. Van Wy tries to take a shot from a bad angle, now banging away again. A lot of physicality down behind the play against the boards here in this game. And now sent all the way back. Loose goes in after it, 2:30 to go. He turns around with it. Strauss-Mann's been looking at the Michigan bench for a while. Blankenberg sends it up. Quick tip pass from Raby, and it goes out of play. I think off off Raby's stick. So the faceoff will be in the neutral zone right in front of the Penn State blue line. 2:23 to go in the game. Gotta think if Michigan can get the puck in the offensive end, they will start to pull man.
I think they're going to wait another 30 or 40 seconds before doing that. Last night, Montreal Canadiens tied 1-1, scored their game-winning goal against the Rangers with a minute and 7 seconds left, so there's always still hope no matter what happens in hockey.
Yeah. Well, the argument in the NHL, at least recently, is that more and more teams have been pulling the empty net early with the argument that you get that extra time to try and score the goal with the extra skater. Of course, in the game last night, Penn State down 3 goals, pulled the goalie with 6.5 minutes to go, and that one did not turn out well. Jake Slaker potted it in the empty net with about a minute after they had pulled him initially, but the argument in that case was that if you're going to lose 3-0 anyway, you might as well pull him. What's the difference between losing 3-0 versus 4-0?
And they did score that not the empty net goal, that goal with the pulled skater, Penn State.
Yeah. Avoiding
that first road shutout in 2 years.
Yeah.
Ohio State now not tied, 7-14. They scored.
And it looks like Wisconsin has the ball. I'll give an update on that in a minute as the timeout that Michigan just took is just about over. They trail 2-1. This is the crunch time moment. Johnny Beecher to do the draw against Connor McEachern right in front of the Penn State blue line, and McEachern wins it back, and Penn State will be content to just send it into the Michigan end, try to create an offensive opportunity that really just functions to bleed time off the clock so Michigan can't pull the goalie. Now out they come. Skating along the boards is Beecher using that speed, and there goes Strauss-Mann, but he was offsides. 2:07 to go, and Mann does a 360 and heads right back into his own net.
Just over 2 minutes remaining here. I do believe that Strauss-Mann will go back to the bench.
Yeah.
He's skating far forward in between the face-off dots now.
Yeah, he's about 3 feet in front of his own crease in a sort of Dominik Hasek type position right now, waiting to skate out if Michigan can get a sustained offensive zone possession. They win the draw into Beecher. There goes Mann. Beecher passed through the middle. Now to York right there. Picked up, and now Michigan will have an opportunity to set it up 6-on-5. Mike Passageoff is the extra skater. Blankenberg at the top. Passageoff on the half wall. Sends it down low. Skating through the middle there is Beecher. Had it off his stick, or rather Hayhurst, and it was deflected. Now out of play. That one, I think, went off a Penn State stick, so it looks like it will stay an offensive zone draw for Michigan with 101 seconds remaining in the game.
With all these power play opportunities coming up empty for Michigan.
Or no, it's going to come out into the neutral zone, and the children of Yost do not like that.
With all these power plays going empty unanswered for Michigan, do you really want the goalie pulled?
Yeah.
They've been unable to do anything basically this entire season with the man advantage.
Straussman goes back in front of his net, and he'll have to wait again to come off the ice. And now a draw. Oh, was won by Beecher. Lockwood tried to just come screaming through, and the puck couldn't quite find him. Now man goes out right away. Lockwood carries it down behind. 90 seconds to go. Had it taken away from his stick. Pastajov sends it to Beecher there. He takes a shot. High and rising over top. York across there to Hayhurst. Back to York at the top point. Now sends it down low. Looking for Lockwood to Blankenberg at the point. He takes a shot, banging away. Hayhurst a try. That one deflected by Peyton Jones. There's a shot up in the air. Michigan couldn't put it home. Cam York over to Blankenberg across. Now there is Pastajov. He sends it down, looking for Hayhurst. Taken away. Now out to Blankenberg at the top. Deflected. Can Cam York win the race there? He cannot. Puck is free. Penn State puts it in the empty net. And that'll do it with 52.6 to go. Michigan, 42 shots, continuing to pepper Peyton Jones the entire period. Not able to do so. And that will just about end it. 3-1 Nittany Lions. And Johnny Beecher slams his stick as he heads to the bench.
He startled one of the linesmen, now getting yelled at, chewed out by the linesman.
Yeah, Beecher is really mad about something. I'm not exactly sure what.
It looked like a high stick over there by Penn State. It was clearly above the crossbar, swung and hit the puck. Uncalled. Being able to go up 6-4 man advantage would be something special with such little time left, and that clear led to the goal.
Well, with just about 53 seconds remaining, and Michigan is going to split this weekend series, which on the face is not a bad prospect whatsoever given Penn State's top 10 ranking, but this was a game where Michigan really felt like they had a shot to win and just made a couple mistakes there in the early stages, the late stages of the first period, ceded 2 goals, and despite all their shots, all their opportunities, just not quite able to finish, and so they'll get a weekend split as there's now 25 seconds remaining, and they'll be off for about 3 weeks until the Great Lakes Invitational when they'll play Ferris State. Now a chance potentially out in front. That one tipped back down by Penn State. There will be an icing as Luke Martin touches up with just under 10 seconds remaining in the game.
When you summarized this great game, it sounded like you were saying the story of every single game at home this season.
Yeah.
So many of these chances for Michigan to get wins. Instead, they're going to fall to 6-10-2.
Yep.
And that's a 2-7-1 in the Big Ten.
Yep. The Big Ten record continues to be grisly for the Wolverines this season on a 2-game Big Ten winning streak entering tonight. Not able to get a third straight, which would have been a great boost going into the Christmas break. Penn State will be against Notre Dame next weekend. As the final seconds remain, they flip it out into the neutral zone, and that'll do it. Our final score here tonight, Penn State 3, Michigan 1. You have any last thoughts?
I just think that Michigan has had so many different games this year where they've had almost wins. Clarkson, Michigan State at home, Minnesota, both times at home.
Yeah.
Just such good chances, and no one's able to produce goals for this team. Let's see, we have here Johnny Beecher, 5 goals, leading the team. Van Wy with 2, Pashov 3, Lambert with 1. There's a total of 8 goals on the season in 18 games split amongst the first line. No one's able here to finish these chances, but Straussman has been standing on his head all season long.
And so that just about does it for us. Michigan gets the weekend split. Final score, Penn State 3, Michigan 1. For Lucas Vargas, Joshua Tenzer, I'm Alex Drain, saying good night and go blue from Yost.